The Mazda CX-50 carries over largely unchanged, and that consistency cuts both ways. It remains one of the few compact SUVs built for people who actually enjoy driving, yet it asks for real compromises in return. Here are 5 reasons to want one and 5 to hesitate.
The single most persuasive argument for the gas CX-50 has nothing to do with its spec sheet. Mazda tuned this crossover with a lower roofline, a wider track, and a suspension that rewards a driver who actually looks ahead through a corner. Steering weight builds naturally off-center, body motions stay controlled, and the chassis communicates grip in a way CR-V and Rogue owners never experience. Reviewers across the board, Edmunds among them, continue to rank it as one of the most entertaining compact SUVs available. If your commute includes a canyon road, a mountain pass, or even a decent on-ramp, the CX-50 makes the ordinary parts of ownership feel less ordinary. That character also holds up over years of ownership, long after a rival's novelty features stop feeling new. Mazda makes iActive all-wheel drive standard across the entire CX-50 range, including the $29,900 2.5S Select. That is a meaningful distinction in a segment where Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai still charge $1,400 to $1,600 for the privilege, and it means the advertised entry price is the real price for a buyer in Denver, Buffalo, or Bozeman. The system is predictive rather than reactive, reading wiper activity, steering angle, and throttle position to shuffle torque before slip occurs. Meridian Edition trims layer on 18-inch wheels wrapped in all-terrain tires, plus outdoor-focused accessories, giving the CX-50 genuine light trail credibility that its unibody rivals largely lack. Ground clearance and approach angles stay modest, but for gravel roads and snowed-in driveways, the setup is more than sufficient. Mazda has spent a decade quietly building the nicest cabins in the mainstream segment, and the CX-50 is the clearest evidence. Materials are consistently a grade above what the window sticker suggests. Stitched surfaces where rivals use hard plastic, restrained metallic trim instead of piano black, and switchgear with satisfying damping. More importantly, Mazda has resisted the industry stampede toward touchscreen everything. Real knobs govern climate and volume, real buttons handle seat heaters, and the driver's line of sight stays where it belongs. The available 12-speaker Bose system is among the better factory audio setups in the class, and the front seats offer supportive bolstering that holds up on long drives. Cabin isolation is another quiet strength, with only mild wind and road noise intruding at highway speed. Where most compact SUVs offer a single, asthmatic 4-cylinder, the CX-50 gives buyers a real choice. The naturally aspirated 2.5-liter SkyActiv G delivers 187 horsepower and 185 pound-feet, adequate, smooth, and cheap to run on regular fuel. Step up to the 2.5 turbo, and output jumps to 256 horsepower and 320 pound-feet on premium, which transforms the car's character entirely. Mid-range punch arrives early and stays flat, making highway merges and mountain grades effortless in a way no CR-V can match. The turbo also unlocks up to 3,500 pounds of towing capacity with Mazda's towing mode and a genuine hitch, roughly double what the base engine manages, and enough for a small utility trailer or a pair of jet skis. Both engines drive through the same all-wheel drive hardware, so the decision comes down purely to power and fuel budget. A model with no changes is a model Mazda needs to move. That dynamic already played out through 2026, when Mazda layered customer cash offers of $1,000 on 2.5S trims and $1,500 on turbo variants. Expect similar behavior on 2027 stock, particularly once redesign rumors gather momentum. Cars Direct projects only a 1 to 3% price increase for the 2027 model year, consistent with Mazda's recent pattern, which keeps the gas CX-50 competitive against rivals raising prices more aggressively. For a shopper who cares about transaction price rather than novelty, an unchanged model year is often the smartest time to buy. The product is fully sorted and the dealer has less leverage. Late-cycle model years also tend to offer the widest color and trim availability on dealer lots. The CX-50 looks long and low, and the packaging pays for it. Behind the second row, you get 31.4 cubic feet, expanding to 56.3 cubic feet with the 60/40 bench folded. Rear headroom and foot space are tight relative to rivals, a problem compounded by the panoramic moonroof, which steals overhead clearance. Parents fitting rear-facing child seats will find themselves sliding the front passenger seat uncomfortably far forward. The cargo floor is deep rather than wide, which suits gear lengthwise but complicates bulky loads. Small item storage disappoints too, with cup holders that struggle to accept oversized bottles and sit awkwardly close to the climate controls.
Mazda Connect is the CX-50's most divisive element and its clearest deficit. The 10.25-inch display is not a touchscreen in normal operation. Touch input works only when Apple CarPlay or Android Auto is running, and only when the vehicle is stopped. The moment you're rolling, everything reverts to a rotary controller on the console. That knob is fine for scrolling presets or panning a map, but Mazda's menu structure is layered and unintuitive, and Consumer Reports has flagged the setup as distracting in motion. Graphics look dated, customization is minimal, and the screen sits too far forward on the dash to reach comfortably, even when touch is enabled. Wireless charging is available, but proves inconsistent with some phones, compounding the sense of aging technology.
The gas CX-50 asks a real efficiency penalty for its all-wheel drive standard positioning. The 2.5S is EPA rated at 24 miles per gallon city, 30 highway, and 26 combined. Turbo models sit at 23 miles per gallon city, 29 highway, and 25 combined. Those numbers land near the bottom of a class where front-drive rivals crack 30 combined, and hybrid competitors routinely deliver high 30s. Mazda's own CX-50 Hybrid manages 38 combined, making the efficiency gap within the showroom impossible to ignore. The Turbo also wants premium fuel to reach its full 256 horsepower, adding meaningfully to running costs for buyers who want the performance they paid for. Tank capacity stands at 15.9 gallons, so highway range does little to offset the thirst.
Mazda continues to pair both gas engines with a conventional 6-speed automatic. There are virtues here. The transmission is smooth, decisive, and free of the rubber band feel that plagues CVT-equipped rivals. But 6 ratios is 2 or 3 short of what Toyota, Hyundai, and Volkswagen now offer, and the shortfall shows up as taller gearing at highway speed and less flexibility when the engine needs to stay in its power band. It is a direct contributor to the fuel economy deficit noted above. In a 2027 model year, the hardware reads as legacy engineering rather than deliberate restraint. Paddle shifters on turbo trims sharpen engagement, but they cannot manufacture ratios that were never there. Mazda was widely expected to redesign the CX-50 for 2027. That did not happen. Industry watchers now anticipate a next-generation car for 2028, potentially with Mazda's own in-house hybrid system replacing the Toyota-sourced setup. Buying the final year of a generation carries obvious consequences: sharper depreciation once the replacement lands, and the knowledge that a substantially better version is roughly 18 months out. Complicating matters further, Mazda's own redesigned CX-5 now sits alongside it at the same starting price with more space and newer technology. Note also that Mazda had not published full 2027 specifications at the time of writing. Figures here reflect the 2026 car and carryover expectations. Anyone cross-shopping within the brand should drive both Mazdas back-to-back before committing.